All right, how's everybody doing today? Everybody good? Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all had me like really excited. Is it okay if I oh man, thank you. To be honest, y'all had me really excited. I almost jumped back into education real fast. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to Dr. Cooper real fast. See if they got any openings real quick. But I really was like, y'all are excited about what you do, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So I do want to thank Dr. Allens, Dr. Cooper, and also, man, Mr. Lewis, man, for really introducing me to this cluster and really allowing this to really happen. He was kind of the kickstarter, man, so I really appreciate you, Mr. Lewis, and really thank you all for being here today. Again, my name is Coach Lawrence. My speaking company is called My Brand, and just real quick, it was something that I started inside of a school. In Fulton County Schools. I was working in Fulton County Schools, and my principal saw a need, and I don't know why she picked me, but she picked me to help fill the need. And so my brand was birthed, and it was for students who had academic and behavioral challenges. And over the course of maybe about 4 years, initially it started out as a club, and then eventually started as a class. And at the time I was teaching health and PE, and so we were able to get things approved through Fulton County where that class counted for those students' health credit. It was really amazing. We were able to bring our discipline rate down over 30%. Students were not just graduating, but they were becoming better people, right? Because that's what we want, right? We want to give our students academic preparation, but ultimately we want them to leave our buildings and contribute. Yeah. Amen. We're in church. We can say that. Amen. So yeah, and always too, every time I speak to a school, I always got to shout out the health and PE teachers. I think I did it last week, but man, listen, I call the health and PE department the Swiss Army knife of the school, because you don't just teach, you get pulled to put stuff together, to fix stuff, to go cover classes, to go do everything. So you know, y'all, so where they at again? Where they right over there, right? Swiss Army knife, my Swiss Army crew. So I'm gonna jump right into it, y'all. I'm gonna jump right into it. I was born here in Atlanta, raised in Decatur, Georgia, and I was a student athlete. I went to college, I played football. I attempted to run track while playing football. That was a horrible mistake. Horrible mistake. If you know anything about student athletes in college, it's a full-time job, so trying to take on 2 full-time jobs, I don't even know why they even gave me permission. But somebody gave me permission, I did it. But when I left college, I did go into another career path before I taught, and I still kind of had a desire for competition. I still had that desire to compete. I knew I wasn't going to play football, but I still had that desire to compete. And I also still kind of had that desire for like just the physical nature of the competition. So I found myself getting into boxing. And then that carried over. I got into different martial arts, and I finally, the last one that I've been doing for quite some time is called Krav Maga. You get a chance to check it out. It's a really amazing martial arts. It's Israeli in style. It's a lot of fun, and I love it. And what it also really pushed me to do was to really dive into the sport of boxing and the history of it. And so I found myself kind of like looking at a lot of old stuff, viewing a lot of old boxing. And I stumbled upon one day a fight that took place in 1964. It was a fight that took place in 1964. Who was alive at that time? 1964. Do y'all know the fight I'm talking about? Muhammad Ali. It was a fight with Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston. It was the first one. It was the first one. Now everybody who was preparing to watch that fight, their money was on Liston. Their money was on Liston. Nobody even really knew who Ali was. So everybody had already assumed that Liston was going to come out with the victory. That's what the assumption was. The only person that really thought that Ali had a chance was Ali. That was the only person who thought Ali had a chance. And so the fight takes place. The first 3 rounds, y'all, Ali is dominating the fight. He's dominating the fight. And not only is everybody surprised, but Liston is surprised. Liston is surprised. And so going into the fourth round, after the third round, he goes to his corner and he gets an injection into his gloves. He gets a solution into his gloves. And so he goes into that fourth round and makes contact with Ali in his eyes. And if you get a chance to go and watch that fight, they have it on YouTube. You get a chance to watch that fight. After the fourth round, Ali is sitting in his corner and he's rubbing his eyes. He can't see, he's blinded. He cannot see. And he's rubbing his eyes, trying to get his eyes right, and his ringside trainer is like, what's going on? And the ringside trainer was trying to do something to Ali, and he was like, no, I'm trying to get something out. And they're like, what's wrong? And Ali said, man, he juiced his gloves. He juiced his gloves. And so the ringside trainer's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get into this fifth round, and here's what I need you to do. What I need you to do is keep him at arm's length. And if you watch the fifth round, the entire time, Ali has his one hand out, and he's keeping Liston at arm's length so he really can't get to him, so he can survive that fifth round. And ultimately, gets to the sixth round, fight continues, he's fine, and he goes on to win that fight. Goes on to win that fight. He survived the fifth round and was able to finish that fight. And here's what I believe, y'all. I believe it was the availability of his ringside trainer that ultimately not only allowed Ali to survive the fifth round, but to win that fight. And here's why that's important to us in here today. Here's something that I realized while I was watching that fight and really reading up on the history of it. Here's what was really revealed to me in my spirit, y'all. I promise you, it awakened in me like nothing else. And it is that the gloves are juiced. The gloves out here are juiced. And here's what I mean. I mean that your students, our students, are walking into your schools. They're walking through your halls. They're coming to sit in your classrooms, and they are taking on fights daily while being hit with juiced gloves. I'm talking about, y'all know the gloves that you know what it's juiced with? It's juiced with Instagram. It's juiced with TikTok. It's juiced with unhealthy homes. They're juiced with mental and emotional deficiencies. They're juiced with anger. They're juiced with abandonment issues. And they're taking on a daily fight, and they are being blinded in a fight that they were born and built to win. They were born to win the fights. But the fights are no longer fair. They're no longer fair. And so here's the big thing. The big thing is, yes, you are required. Yes, it is your job to educate them. That is your job. That is what Gwinnett County hired you for. They hired you to educate and academically prepare them. But here's an additional responsibility that you now have. You have the responsibility to sit ringside, to become their ringside trainer, to be able to be available to them daily to help them through those momentary rounds where they've been hit with juiced gloves, to be prepared to navigate and guide them so that they can not just survive, but so that they can thrive and go and continue to win the fight. That is an additional responsibility that you now carry so that they can continue to thrive. And here, I want y'all to really hear me on this. It's so important that we grasp this concept that we need to be available ringside so that they can not just survive, but so that they can thrive. It is so very important because some of y'all are going to be preparing a lesson. You're going to be ready to teach. You're going to be excited about what you have prepared for your students. And you're going to have some students that are going to come and sit in your class, and they're going to just have been hit with juiced gloves getting out of a parent's vehicle. Getting off the bus. Getting off the bus and being hit with juiced gloves. And it is going to require you to operate just as Ali's trainer did. You're going to have to sidetrack. Hey, you know what? I got to prepare. I have to help this student through this momentary round so that they can get back in this fight that really matters and go win. Go win. Go win. And I'm going to tell you, I'm the type of person, I've always been this way. And it's kind of hurt me in some aspects because sometimes I get consumed with it. But I'm the type of person that if I do something, I want to be great at it. I want to be the best. That's always been my mind frame. I've been a competitor all my life, so if I'm going to do it, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to outwork you, and I'm going to do it better. So here's what I have to do in order to do that. I have to research to figure out, okay, what are the attributes? What are the habits? How does that actually happen, right? I'm a speaker for a living. So what do I have to do? I have to go and watch the best. I have to monitor them. I have to look at them daily. What is it that they're doing? How is he preparing? What is she actually doing? And I'm going to do it better than them. So here's what I did, right? I wanted to find out what really makes a great ringside trainer. Like, what makes somebody better than somebody else? So naturally, I looked it up, y'all. I looked it up. So if y'all don't mind, I'm going to share with you guys what makes a great ringside trainer. All right? Y'all ready for this? I want y'all to listen. Now, y'all, if you don't have nothing to write with, go ahead and get your memory banks together real quick. We're going to fill up that memory bank, all right? So here's what I found out. A great ringside trainer, the first thing is they have a proven track record of success. They have a proven track record of success. The second thing is, y'all can relate to this one, is they are certified. Everybody can't do it. They're certified. And I was actually shocked to see that, because I was like, dang, so, man, you have to go through some training, some education, right? And then it says a great ringside trainer makes the fighter feel confident, encouraged, and supported. Wow. Now, here's the key thing that it told me, that I found out. It says that these things are essential in the moments when the fighter is not at their best, has just experienced a bad round, or doesn't look too good in the fight. So here's what I want to do. I'll real fast. I want to replace two words. Are y'all okay if I do that? I want to replace two words. I want to take out the word trainer and ringside trainer. That's 3 words. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to take out 3 words. Ringside trainer, and we're going to take out the word fighter. And we're going to replace them with 2 other words. Y'all cool with that? All right. So here we go. A great educator has a proven track record of success. Would y'all agree? A great educator is certified. Y'all didn't hire nobody that ain't certified. We got the human resource lady in here. Where's she at? All right. Here we go. All right, here we go, y'all. Listen to this one. It says, here's what we're going to do. A great educator makes their student feel confident, encouraged, and supported. The essential piece is this is essential in the moment when the student is not at their best, has just experienced a bad round, a bad class moment, a bad time before they got to school, a bad day, or doesn't look too good in the fight. Here's the bottom line. A great educator, a great ringside trainer, they're at their best when the fighter is at their worst. It's so easy to be great, right? It's so easy to be great when you have great people that you're actually working with. I tell people all the time, I coach football, right? And I always say, man, it's easy to be great when I have great players. I don't really coach that up. But how good of a coach am I when I have a kid that's his first year playing, doesn't really know what he's doing? How great am I then? how great are you then when your student comes in and they've been hit with juice gloves, they don't know what they do, they don't have their homework, they're not prepared, they don't know what the lesson is because they're so consumed with the juice gloves that they just got hit with. How great are you then? Because the bottom line is the trainer's job is to be sure that that fighter is not distracted with the momentary pain that they're dealing with, the momentary situation that they're dealing with, so that they can get back in the fight and go win the fight that they were born and built to win. That is the attributes and habits of a great ringside trainer, of a great educator. Because here's the thing, I don't believe that Ali wins that fight without his ringside trainer. As a matter of fact, y'all, I don't even believe he makes it out the 5th round. Because the reality is, in that moment, the only thing he can think about is, I got to get this stuff out of my eyes. He's not focused on the fight. You think your students are focused on the lesson when they come in and their parents just cuss them out? You think your student cares about the homework that they don't have when they're dealing with mental and emotional deficiencies? You think that matters? So it's your responsibility to navigate and guide them through that momentary round, because it's momentary pain that they're feeling, it's momentary issues that they're feeling, and it's going to be your responsibility because they're sitting in your classroom. It's going to be your responsibility to be sure that they're not distracted, to be sure that they understand, I got to get back in this fight. Yes, the gloves are juiced. Yes, the fight's not fair. I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry, sweetie. I understand. It don't feel good right now. But guess what? I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to give you the confidence, and I'm going to support you the way that you need so that you can get back in this fight and go and win because you were born to win. Here's what I understand. I understand that being available ringside, I understand that being educator, it is not a place of convenience. It's not a place of convenience. And if we're really honest, if we're really honest with ourselves, we understand that more often than not, it is a place where you become mentally and emotionally drained. Yeah, mentally and emotionally drained. There are going to be, I told for elementary last week, there are going to be a lot of days you ain't going to feel like doing your job. You ain't going to feel like it. I'm not going to feel like it because guess what? I got my own personal stuff I'm dealing with. I'm not going to feel like it. I'm not going to want to. But it's going to require you. It's going to require you to still be available. And here's what I know. I know that this job that you all do, I just prayed over a group of educators and students and parents this weekend and spoke to them yesterday at a church. And I told them that, I understand that this is not a place, it's not a seat for everybody. But you were called and chosen. It's not a place of convenience. And, I talked to Far Elementary last week about being called and chosen. Right? Because I understand that this isn't a place where there's a lot of glory. This isn't a seat where there's a lot of glory. You're going to get more calls about what you're not doing than with the great things you did do. It's not a seat where they're going to praise you every day for what you did. They expect you to do it. But here's what it is. It is a seat of expectation, and it is a seat where each and every one of you have been called and chosen. And here's what we got to understand. Here's what I told the faculty members at FAR is that the bottom line about being called and chosen to something is your ability and your willingness to give your very best, even on your worst day, even during your worst moment. It is directly tied to the expectations and the destiny to those that you've been called to. So what are you willing to do? How available will you be on your worst day? During their worst moment? This is not something that is meant for everybody. That's why everybody doesn't do it. That's why everybody doesn't last. That's somebody in here been doing this 40 years. Been getting up every day, 40 years, 37 years. I don't care if you've been doing it for 5 years, 2 years. You've been giving your very best every single day. You've been coming in, getting in the fight with these students every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you got your own stuff going on at home, even when you have people letting you down in your life, even when your plans ain't going through the way that you want it to, you still been giving your very best on their worst day, and that is when the greatness is birthed through our students that walk through your halls. The greatness is not birth when you got the student that's doing everything right. That's turning in the work every time you ask. The greatness is birth when the student who ain't got nothing to eat at home, who's coming back to your classroom, and they don't really understand the concepts of the material that you're teaching, and you can still get through to them, and you can ooze out that little bit of greatness that's in them and produce them to their destiny that they were born to get to. That's when you become great. That's when you are doing your job. That's when you're doing your job. It's not meant for everybody, but it's meant for each and every one of you in here. And here's the thing, and I'm done. They just need you to be available ringside. They need you to be able to navigate and guide them. They need you to be able to give them confidence, give them encouragement, and support them on their worst day, during their worst moments. That's what they're going to need from you. Being available to the ringside. And here's the biggest piece you got to get through to them on their worst day. During their worst moment. Here's where you really get them back into the fight. You help them understand you're in a fight that you were already born and built to win. You just got to stop being distracted by this moment. I know it don't feel good. No, it ain't right your mama cussed you out. No, it ain't right. No, it's not right. But guess what? We got to get in this fight. I understand that you don't really understand what I'm trying to teach you, but we're going to continue in this fight.